see him come out here, hit him as hard and as fast as they can, just like they did yesterday to try and set the tone early.
Let's just jump right into that game one with Northwood already on that defense. But when it comes to Northwood, you're never worried about that defense. I think they have one of the second fewest goals against them. So Northwood, they're chilling. Now Hockey's got some coverage on them. You got Drip, you got Top Cheese, and Stockton. They're working their way down the field, but in terms of having the possession to get a shot, and that bounces the other way, and Bussy really struggled for that off the cross. But we'll see if Stockton will find any kind of gap in this defense.
Yeah, generally, the defense of Northwood is, like you say, quite strong, as Bussy almost able to turn another one in, and Drip going to come and charging through the middle of the box, jam that one into the left side of the net. Stockton going to open up the scoring, and this is just a nice job from Drip trying to get as aggressive as possible. Lion Blaze, not the best touch, but it certainly wasn't a poor one. It was towards a teammate, and Drip just happened to read where it was going and got there quicker.
It already feels like Stockton just have control of this first minute of play. They've been keeping Northwood in the blue end. Northwood have had maybe one shot from just the tip on the midfield, but Stockton are playing pretty aggressive. But here comes Northwood, just on that left side. Buddy wants the touch. Top Cheese forces the 50, stalls it out. Lion Blaze, he's always the one I'm keeping my eyes on when it comes to Northwood's offense. He has Hockey right in front of the net, but that Drip contest just intercepted maybe a passing play Northwood were hoping for. And now with the demo from the side of Northwood, 3-on-2, this offense surely can score, but they start to fall back for resources, and all that momentum might be gone.
We have managed to at least hang on to the ball, and Stockton doing a nice job intercepting in the midfield, but going back to that point we were talking about on Northwood's defense, as they do kind of collide with each other on their own half, a little uncharacteristic there. A lot of that low goals per game is a product of how aggressive and how much time they generally spend on offense, per se. They can give up some open net transitions a lot of the time, but I think they know the potential of Stockton here based off of what they've seen in this tournament, what they faced in the conference finals. I think they would probably do well to keep one at least far back and not try and push quite as hard on defense to make sure that they don't give away anything for free against Stockton.
Yeah, I like that. The Northwood never get to play defense because they're just always on offense. So that also checks out. Good tip from Lion Blaze. That was going to get dangerous in front of the net. Now Stockton, they have a lead, and we're waiting to see what Northwood can do, getting warmed up on their passing plays. But it seems as soon as they get close to that Stockton net, there's just always someone from Stockton either intercepting a pass or just getting a long clear. See, Bussy keeps it in. Drip is falling back, so we'll see what Bussy can do in terms of buying time for Stockton to recommit to this. Top Cheese off the backboard, about to drop down, but Hockey sends it away. Drip keeps it in to Top Cheese. But now we're just passing to each other without much of a goal in mind.
Oh, almost something there from Hockey. Was trying to knock it down for Lion Blaze. Here comes the physicality from Northwood. They realize, okay, we haven't really had a lot of success getting through that midfield line of Stockton. We have to try and get more aggressive somewhere on the pitch, and it will definitely try and be in that offensive third, looking for the demos.
All right, Hockey, you look cool. Can you do something cool? Oh, he flicks it above! Disgusting Northwood tie!
Ask and you shall receive. Can you do something cool? Absolutely. Smooth catch on the flip reset. Had to use everything in the tank to get the job done, but excellent placement all the way to the left side. Forced the defender to stretch. Not enough. And then I thought you were right with Lion Blaze being the guy to watch in terms of trying to mix it up and break down that Stockton defense, but Hockey, that's a great opener for your team.
Whoa, we've seen some really good demos on both sides just right as the offense is approaching. Kind of get taken out by the legs, so really I think both these teams have enough experience to really know through that chaos what they need to do and mainly stay calm, as Hockey right down in front of the net. Lion Blaze just a second too late. The double commit from Stockton saves it. Hockey brings it back though. Bussy with the touch brings it to the other corner. Lion Blaze chases it. Bussy beats them there, but it's not a counterattack that Stockton can form yet.
Really nice awareness there from Top Cheese. Knew where Drip was going to place that ball. It may have cost them possession, but they do have a lot of time to get reset, and slowly but surely Northwood's starting to get stuck in here in the middle of the pitch, in the middle of game one, so Stockton going to have to start making some adjustments quickly. That's the other side of the coin for Northwood. They adapt fast.
just Northwood are a really physical team, and this bounce gets read by Lion Blaze. I thought maybe Hockey was going to go for the double touch, but well, Northwood are actually number 1 in CRL when it comes to demos per game for them. But I want to see the stats after this game, because I feel like Stockton are going for more demos, and that is Drip catching the ball first, giving Stockton the lead.
That's right, what we were talking about. You can see Hockey looking for Lion Blaze, and that's just great read from Bussy and Drip. I mean, Drip having the confidence that his teammate is actually going to be the one to come down with that challenge and turn around to be ready for that one to come down into the middle. The only opportunity they were going to have to score was right there, and that was a half chance at best. So love the understanding from the Stockton team there. Really put the pressure on Northwood here, coming up on 30 seconds.
Just love what Drip is doing. I mean, he has both goals, and Northwood really need this one. 22 seconds, that clock. Well, it's going away pretty soon, but as I was saying about Drip, he's just so quick to react. It's not even just speeding around, it's just being at the right place at the right time. And that knowledge of the game really translates in Drip's play, at least in game 1. Now 6 seconds, Northwood on their last play, demos left and right, left with a 2-on-2, and Buddy needs to keep it up in the air. Hockey does so, but Drip's challenge sends it the other way, and Stockton take game 1.
Great win for Stockton off the rip. I think getting that early goal helped a lot, and you were right, Drip definitely reading the game very well today. Can't afford to have an off day, especially against a team like Northwood, but they didn't pull any punches over on that Northwood side of the pitch. They knew they had to try and get something going. They were trying to get aggressive, and it really was just Bussy and Drip making a huge combined effort. Top Cheese playing a little more defensive this game. Didn't have to do too much, kind of just kept the pressure where it was needed, but it was really Drip making well-timed approaches on the ball that got Stockton through this one. And game 2, I'll be curious to see how it plays out. Northwood, I think that they will try and find a different way through. I thought Lion Blaze was going to be a bit more effective in terms of carving up the defense, but he's getting out-challenged. And to be fair, Bussy was an absolute challenge monster yesterday. So if he brings that back today, it may have to be a lot more of the, okay, pass the ball horizontally across the pitch, really try and spread Stockton out and try and use as much space as possible to get it by him, just to avoid that.
Northwood are just trying so hard to play their own game, and I think to your point, Stockton are just doing everything they can to disrupt that. And I was just so into your point that I forgot to look at the demo stats, because I felt like Stockton were also using those demos to create that chaos, and the tip from Hockey doesn't go in. Stockton had, I think, double-digit saves in that last game, so it's gonna, I mean, Northwood are gonna have to get real creative if they want to win this game too.
Yeah. Had a fair amount of demos both ways in game 1. There's indeed the long passes across. Hockey over there can't control the ball, And Stockton trying their best. And they know possession is key here. Don't rush the push up field. We need time to make sure we're really set, because we know Northwood's coming.
At least Northwood are having way more of an aggressive offense, at least at the start of game 1. It felt like the first minute or two from game 1, Stockton really controlled that, and Northwood are looking a lot more confident. And I mean, Stockton are just having issues moving downfield, but now the Top Cheese is ready in the corner. Hockey knows that, gets right in between the Stockton members, and there it is, Hockey with the first one.
And this is Bussy really just getting tied up by his own teammate. He sees Drip jump, and he thinks, okay, he missed it, and then he still has faith that he's actually going to come down with a second touch. He's not even really thinking about how to position in the net to make a save, because, I mean, you're not worried about it generally when you see Drip as consistent as he's been all playoff bracket long, and just have him not come up with, to be fair, an incredibly difficult clear. That was not an easy one by any stretch of the imagination, but coming up empty, no chance for Bussy to make that save.
Now Northwood already turning this around to another offense. Bussy gets right above Lion Blaze, and as Stockton just guide this to the right side, Northwood just stuff it and start controlling the midfield. Now Lion Blaze, as he's coming back down, it's enough time for Stockton to react and try to take that possession away. With that demo from Northwood, you have the 3-on-2, but they kind of need some boost if they want to, you know, imply that or apply that creativity I was mentioning before. But once they do have their boost, be careful of these passes, but Stockton are doing everything, including bumping.
Oh, really nice pass play. Unfortunately, they kind of ran out of people. Hockey trying to come through and finish the job, but took a little too long to develop. Northwood doing a great job controlling the midfield boost pads and really trying to make sure that they have enough boost between 3 players to try and keep this pressure on. And unfortunately for them, Hockey not able to keep it jammed into the orange side.
Yeah, Hockey just came in like a rocket there, and now Northwood using just as much demos, and now And they get a second
here we
goal
go.
because you're not too comfortable with just the one, especially with Stockton. They'll creep up in the second
hello,
half.
top cheese.
Oh, top down with the bounce. Sneaks by the defender.
Special delivery from Drip. Incredibly difficult thing to play for Lion Blaze there. Coming around the corner on defense, up the wall, and you're really hoping that he just takes a very easy line on that pass, but he was able to dig it off that sidewall, push it out towards that backboard, and get it to kick back into the middle, and that was never going to be an easy save for Lion Blaze, and you gotta love Top Cheese being right there for it.
And for those who might have caught the Eastern Conference playoff final between Northwood and Stockton, it was a 4-0 for Northwood. But if you look at the goals, it was quite close. All of them within one, except the last game when you kind of give up when you're down 3-0. And Hockey hasn't given up, though. Gives Northwood back that lead.
Way to work it back. Got through one, and Bussy just losing the race. That's just a great play from Lion Blaze, realizing that they can beat them out here and put Hockey in a one-on-one situation, and Top Cheese, so scared of the shot to the far post, ended up giving one away over the back shoulder.
Now, Hockey really stepping up in this game, too. Having both goals for Northwood, but you're never comfortable because Stockton, they always have an answer cooked up. It's Hockey with the challenge, but he has to step up. Lion Blaze, the third man back, wants to get committed, wants to help Northwood in this play.
Ooh.
Bounces down. Bussy and Drip double commit.
Nice.
Hockey tries to go forward. Drip bumps him, and Stockton might have made some space.
Ooh, gotta be careful though. Kind of lost the ball on transition. Plenty of time for Northwood to make sure they got set on defense there, since they didn't cleanly take it out of their own half. And Northwood at him one more time, but you're saying one goal in terms of a difference between two teams, never comfortable.
I mean, just even watching the St. Clair match that just happened, it's like you can never be comfortable with any series lead and any goal lead. I'm sorry, Canadians out there, but we go focus in on this upper final. No matter what happens, whoever your favorite team is, there is a lower bracket waiting. Now, Bussy, it's got two defenders, Hockey and Lion Blaze. You don't mess with them. You need to call a friend, and that's when Drip gets involved. But just holding on to possession long enough, and it goes to Buddy before Stockton could even run back.
What a shot here from Buddy, and that's really just stitch it together as you push up the field. Not an easy touch to make. I mean, that's that is quite the goal, to say the least. What a play.
That's that experience. I mean, Northwood, they have two rosters, and as of this season, concentrating all their best players into Northwood Blue, and hopefully this pays off. Drip, second too late to get that shot in, and that's what really Stockton needed to keep themselves in the game. There's a minute left. Still very doable for Stockton, but you're running out of chances, running out of opportunities. Bussy, with the shot, but two defenders there. Drip with the follow-up in the upper 90, and Stockton are still in.
And again, Northwood kind of get tied up on their themselves right there in the goal line. Hockey's so scared of running into Buddy that he has to stop and kind of reposition, and Buddy doesn't have anybody supporting him coming out of the net to challenge that ball, so just goes right back into Stockton's hands. And there was a couple places in the net to pick from, but definitely picked the best one, keep themselves in it here with 40 left.
Oh, Buddy, all the way to the ceiling to make sure Drip doesn't have possession right there. So Stockton fall to a defense with 33 seconds. They need to find a way out of this hole. Hockey, though, going for the touch, and Buddy just kind of slams this into the corner because he knows Stockton could just challenge and send it the other way. Now Bussy leads that charge. Lion Blaze keeps Stockton trapped. At this point, Northwood, I mean, why even bother with an offense? You just keep Stockton trapped for longer. Hockey gets demoed. Drip and Top Cheese 2-on-1, and Hockey saves it!
Wow, what a string of challenges from Stockton. The demo to give themselves the chance, the huge save, the shot off the backboard. And this ball needs to never touch grass if Stockton wants to have a chance here. Bussy trying his best. I don't know if they've got it. Not enough. Northwood going to tie things up 1-1 off a hero save from Hockey on the respawn.
Like I said, the 2-on-1 after the demo, and all gears were turning, pedal to the metal, and Stockton just couldn't get past the one guy in net. But that's just a really big play from Hockey. But it also shows how close this series really is going to be. A 1-goal game and a tie series.
Yeah, not a bad play from Stockton throughout this one. Unfortunately, kind of struggling to stem the tide of Northwood shots. They kind of I don't want to say stole, but they squeezed out a win in game one. They definitely had to deal with their fair share of pressure. Northwood really trying to get physical, and some nice adjustments from Stockton going into game two to prevent that. But then Northwood make their own adaptations. They start passing the ball left and right. They're getting quicker to some of those challenges, and Stockton generally not always coming out on top, or at least neutral. So Northwood earning themselves a couple extra opportunities throughout the course of game two via the increase in pace.
Yeah, because Stockton are good at, cutting off the veins between Northwood when it comes to short passes, but then some of the goals that came in from game two when it came to Northwood came from long passes and these quick redirects where Stockton didn't even have time to rotate back. So Northwood really utilizing that quickness, and we'll see if Stockton will be able to adapt, which usually they do. They've gone to so many game sevens, but now you see Top Cheese is trying to bump Hockey and Lion Blaze, but they're too fast, too furious, so we're left at the midfield.
Ooh. What do you do if you're Top Cheese here? This is an awkward approach here for Stockton. They definitely don't actually have any support. This is kind of just poking to poke and seeing if they can have enough resources built up with enough challenge game behind it to block them out. And that's a nice job from Hockey to give a little bit of breathing room to Northwood there and what could have become a dangerous situation.
Oh,
wait, what?
Buddy. Oh.
What? He just threw. Okay.
He just throw. Break this down for me. How did Buddy do this?
It was just it was the bump on one player, and then Buddy, he's cutting across that challenge. He's not trying to go straight through the player coming behind it. He's just trying to make sure he keeps it on that orange side, and thankfully the challenge timing worked out in such a way that indeed he ended up going straight through the defense and taking the ball with him.
When you're just ready to challenge in the box when all three defenders are there, that's when you're just oozing with confidence. Lion Blaze. Oh, I love that position from Top Cheese from the upper right. Ooh. Not allowing that to drop in front of the net. Lion Blaze maybe to Hockey, but Bussy gets in the way. And look at this counterattack from Stockton, but an important demo from Lion Blaze will weaken that. Stockton
was really gearing up there for the 2-on-1, the 3-on-1, and that's good hustle from Lion Blaze to get back there, demo the man in front, and give no opportunity for Stockton to convert the equalizer.
Oh, Top Cheese. That was a good shot. Bussy was just a little bit late, but at least he'll take someone down with them. Maybe give Stockton a chance to keep that momentum going, keep the wind in the sails, but Buddy's getting away, tipping the ball away from Drip, and Lion Blaze, he's coming in quick, and Top Cheese chose the perfect moment to save.
Scary one for Top Cheese, though. Almost caught out of position and almost threw off his teammate behind him in the net. Either way, Stockton hold on to the 1-goal deficit, and they may get to. Buddy's going to be on it just in time. Stockton pushing, but it doesn't really feel like they've got enough people pushing forward at the same time. And that's kind of the struggle when you play at such a quick pace against a Northwood team. Sometimes you don't always have enough boost or the positioning to feel comfortable being as aggressive as you need to be, and it's kind of the price you pay. You have to. It's the old give and take. You can either give everything and leave a lot open, or can be a little more conservative to try and make sure you have a better approach and a more consistent line of attack, but you may not have enough people to get it done, and that's the problem that Stockton are running into at the moment.
So many demos, and I'm seeing both teams just occasionally, if they are overextending, take those corner boosts, this Drip to the back wall, but it was so slow. Buddy had the chance to position there to stop that from developing into anything scary. As Top Cheese is now chasing people in the net, and Lion Blaze is like, okay, I'm gonna go this way now. So Northwood can turn this into maybe an offense, but as soon as that ball gets high, Drip sends it away, and Northwood are caught figuring out, are we playing defense or offense here?
Some real awkward touches as well. Northwood doing a nice job in a sense playing keep away. I mean, it's more about put it in a place where Stockton can't handle it easily, and that's giving Northwood a lot of ability to kind of just make sure that they're never going to be in a bad spot, because Stockton has to take so much time to get back to where the ball is, and it's a great way of managing the clock, even if it doesn't really generate a lot of chances on target for your team to extend the lead.
Yeah, even in that last play, I mean, Northwood were all committed forward, and it was the race to the ball where Northwood got there first, and Stockton could have scored. It's a minute 13. The fact we've only had one goal is kind of crazy, but it just shows how tight these teams are. Lion Blaze and Buddy somehow
they got it out.
Up. It's right there. Bussy also demoed Hockey, so the follow-up from Northwood is just not there.
That was insane. I have no idea how that one didn't wind up in the back of the orange net. I mean, the push from Northwood had all the pieces in the right place. Just, unfortunately, the placement not good enough, and Stockton more than happy to keep the lead to 1 for the opposition. Not a lot of time left, though. They do have to start making some choices that they don't want to have to make, and indeed, the 2-on-1 going to get it done back the other way. They lose the challenge at the midfield line right here. You can see Top Cheese playing real tight support, and he just gets absolutely cooked on that challenge and gave Lion Blaze all daylight to go hunting.
Came out with some good prey, too. That was a really good bump by Lion Blaze, just to guarantee that to go in, and Stockton really kicking themselves right now because in the next 30 seconds, if they don't do anything, this was supposed to be deposited. Okay, we have to send it again, and now it's a 1-goal game with 30 seconds.
Oh, what a shot from Drip. He was playing the block on the clear, but Top Cheese got a piece of it, but Drip, no, the play isn't over. Dismount the back wall. Get down there. Go for the challenge. Dunk it through. Keep yourselves in it. What a shot.
And if that didn't happen, that could have been the end of this game 3 for Stockton, but now this is very doable as Bussy needs to maybe keep this in and reads it perfectly from Lion Blaze, but the 50 still goes into the corner, and Top Cheese, okay, thank God no one from Northwood was coming in that moment, but now you have Stockton weakened after that demo from Northwood. 7 seconds, and Stockton are trapped. Top Cheese has to make a hero play, and Bussy's right behind to help him out. Can they pass? Can they do something? But Northwood slams that door shut, and that's 2 in a row for Northwood.
Thought that ball may have been able to reach the ramp there before the clock hit 0. Oh, so close. And Stockton kind of had a chance there on transition at the end. They did catch all of Northwood forward, and they were definitely racing to get back. It was potentially a 2-on-1, but unfortunately not able to cleanly push that ball with pace up the field and keep control of it. Had to take a few extra moments to make sure that they had it nicely on a dribble and in their control, and it means Northwood got a nice couple of challenges, but what an effort from Stockton to even keep themselves in that one. They were fighting all the way just to kind of break out of their own half, and I think that's the consistent struggle that Stockton are going to run into in this series. If Northwood are the ones to open up the scoring, I think it's going to make it a lot harder for Stockton to feel comfortable getting aggressive, because they just don't want to give Northwood an extra lead, because they know that 2-0 deficit, the 3-0 deficit, a team like Northwood's never going to let you back into a game like that, just with how consistent they are and how their approach to the game works. So I think it's important for Stockton to generally score first, or at least keep it 0-0, or give themselves a chance by always staying within 1. I think that Northwood plays too strong of a game with an early lead.
Stockton have taken already a bunch of shots in this first 30 seconds. Northwood come out dry. Maybe Hockey finishes his offense on the goal line. Top Cheese scoops it out. Bussy is just buying time, but maybe this sets up Buddy. No, he goes for the bump.
What?
Stockton, how is this still 0-0?
How is it still staying out of the net? I mean, nobody could make a quality touch on the ball for either team, but Stockton definitely in the worst position of it, right on the goal line. Is Hockey trying to poke one in towards the side of the net as well, and well, I wanted them to avoid early deficits. They've managed to do so, even if it wasn't the prettiest way to get it done.
It doesn't even matter the method, as long as the result is what you want,
That's
which
it.
is
Rocket
nothing.
League is absolutely a results-oriented game. Was the double commit bad objectively? Yes. Did he clear the ball? It's okay.
Oh, Lion Blaze, he flicked it up, but Top Cheese was the last layer remaining. We've had already so many close calls in this first minute and a half. Top Cheese goes for the touch to 50, gonna go right down. Now it's Buddy versus Drip. And now Bussy has to get involved again.
Okay.
Now Stockton are in the blue zone. What can you do with it? Top Cheese tries to add on to it to maybe get a different angle, confuse the Northwood defense, get really creative with it, but nothing so far for either team.
Good attempt at misdirection. I agree with you. I like the idea from Stockton. Really see if you can get a defender to bite on something that isn't actually there and have somebody else come through, slam one down. And actually Northwood tries the same thing, and the Drip poised on the goal line, dished out to Lion Blaze. Nobody here to try and put it through for Northwood. Nice, easy clear for Stockton. And defenders have to be absolutely locked in this one. Both teams pulling out all the tricks.
Bussy just got demoed and then woke up in a fire. But oh, that's a nice clear from Drip, but Hockey was in the mid lane, so just not letting that just go into an open net. That's off the back wall hockey. No, could get that second touch in. Buddy, though, with the contest, at least keeps Northwood in this. Now they're rotating back. They just got boost. Northwood gonna ramp up another offense, but these clears from Stockton are up and above. So let's see what Stockton can do now.
No. Oh, what a recovery from Buddy. Northwood totally ran into themselves and kind of shot themselves in the foot there. Buddy wants the bump, and Bossy's going to dodge it. Lion Blaze to jam it home. Drip is going to be in time coming out of the back of the net. Stockton hanging on by a thread, and Northwood, really nice job of turning nothing into an almost goal-scoring opportunity, and Stockton having to work hard to make sure that this one stays 0-0.
We have 9 shots to 0, though, and I'll give you one guess where the 9 shots are coming from. And Stockton, I mean, your defense is great, and that was so close from going in. So many close calls, as I said. And Stockton, you just can't keep praying that you're gonna scoop it up out of the goal line like that. I mean, you're running out of lives if you were a cat. So Stockton, offense mod check, where it at?
You need to get out of your own half. They've done what I asked. It's at least not an early lead. And I think the longer it goes on with Northwood not being able to score, but continuing to pressure that net, wouldn't be surprised to see him caught sleeping, trying to get too aggressive, just try and finish it in regulation, and maybe give up a counterattack with advantage Stockton, but Lion Blaze certainly going to prevent that from happening. He worked through 2 Stockton defenders before giving the ball back.
Oh, Top Cheese, cute flip reset, but you're just gifting the ball back to Northwood. And now as this game is progressing, I'm really understanding the Northwood stat around the goals against. I mean, they've been really manipulating this whole game. Yeah.
They don't like it when they don't get to drive the pace of play, and they are an incredibly tough team to take the ball away from because they are so aggressive, they are so mechanical, they're so consistent, and Lion Blaze was trying to squeeze that into the top of the net right onto the bar, and they're a tough team to take the ball away from because they're so speedy. And Stockton trying their best to at least hang tough. They're doing a great job of it, but they need to find a way out of their own half, that's for certain. And perhaps the kickoff reset, if they get to overtime, will help with that, just to at least kind of equalize the situation. But for now, it's been a tough game. Stockton just registered their first shot on target.
I mean, it's tough. Northwood are so well set up. They have someone on the left and the right, and it's 7 seconds, 0-0, and maybe Stockton with a chance, even if you got 0 shots. I mean, you can make one that counts, but the ball lands on the ground, and we have a 0-0 overtime.
8 saves against, 11 shots for Northwood throughout regulation. We'll see if Stockton can at least come out here and start some type of offense.
Northwood's positions, like I said, were so good. Left, right, and center. There's no real gaps. And it includes Northwood intercepting and challenging everything you do. And that slips by. Lion Blaze breaks the overtime.
Surprised to see this one get through. Top Cheese was thinking, yeah, I've got time to go grab some boost, but Bussy kind of mishits a ball and doesn't get back to it for the challenge, and Lion Blaze hit it with just enough power to get it through everybody. Like, nobody was super out of position there. It was kind of just the perfect storm of the wrong situation at the right time for Northwood, and way to come through, and that's the problem. You can't really give them just about anything. You make one tiny mistake in terms of your clear, and suddenly your defense is getting picked apart because you don't have that extra second to get back in position.
I mean, Stockton's defense, we praised it, but you're going up against Northwood, who are one of the best teams when it comes to offense, so it only takes one to win. And speaking of that, Northwood are 1 game away from cashing in their ticket to go to the grand finals. And Stockton want to be there so bad. They want to beat them so bad. I mean, this is a rematch from the Eastern Conference playoffs where Stockton got 4-0'd. Now, this is already a better chapter in their book in terms of at least being able to take a game, but at the very least, they're making Northwood sweat for this.
Yeah, it is unfortunately currently playing out in just about the same way. 1-goal games all the way throughout. Northwood now on match point, and Stockton just trying to find a way to consistently earn pressure. And you were talking about that positioning of Northwood with how well they space themselves on the pitch, and they're happy enough to take the one-on-one challenges. They don't really need that tight support because they're all such accomplished players in their own right at some of the highest levels of Rocket League. And they say, yeah, let's go duel for the ball. Come on. His buddy is just going to come through, smash one over the shoulder. of a Stockton defender, and Northwood out in front nice and early.
I feel like that could have been saved.
Yeah.
Drip was just like an inch away. So that's just unfortunate, and I hope we're not just getting that Stockton issue of, like in the conference final, that they just kind of let go a bit when the other team is on series point. You just can't give up, and Top Cheese gets help from Bussy, but it's still an ironclad wall of Northwood in front of that net, and now Lion Blaze, well, he's going forward, he gives it to Buddy, and Northwood is still working on it, but that's a solid clear from Stockton.
But of course, the support from... Oh no, it's back in the middle. What do you do, Top Cheese? You can do nothing. Sit and watch and hope they miss. Unfortunately, not this time.
And that's just frustrating if you're Stockton. The last play felt really good, and it should have been a goal on paper against any other team but Northwood. They stopped the impossible, it feels like, and their counterattack is just as deadly. So Stockton, that third man, really hesitates on, if I extend, that could be an open net. If I extend and we get nothing, then Northwood are going to counterattack even harder, and that seems to be the case.
But that is, I think, the point where you have to draw the line. You just played a game where you registered 1, maybe 2 shots on target. You lost 1-0 in overtime. You know turtling, well, I shouldn't say turtling. They would like to play offense. The problem is they're struggling to break out. I shouldn't say Stockton is sitting here thinking, yeah, we'll just play defense against Northwood. I don't think anybody in CRL thinks that's a good idea. It's just tough to make it actually go the other way. And Stockton, while they do have an admirable defensive structure, they know that at some point something's got to give. And with 2 down in the last game of the winter final, potentially, they may just throw caution to the winds and try and get as aggressive as possible and take their chances.
Just feels like every time Stockton are even having a thought about what they could do on the offense, maybe even having slightly possession, you see all of Northwood just head back. And that's when Stockton go for a clear, but Stockton really got to hold on to the ball. And now with this Bussy demo, the 3-on-2 is now squashed from a very long clear from Northwood.
And that's the other part of it that I was so worried about early in the series. That's a gorgeous pass to Hockey. Northwood not done with it yet. Drip and Top Cheese going to get in each other's way, and Lion Blaze trying to keep the pressure going, but thankfully Stockton able to get their feet set under him on defense, but it's the other side of the Northwood coin. That's why I really didn't want them to come out in front so early into the game, because they will absolutely just rotate as far back as possible and say, yep, good luck beating all 3 of us.
Yeah, and how can you? I feel like Northwood are like the favorites to win yet another CRL championship, and Stockton, I felt like came in, I don't even know if I want to say a dark horse, but they've upset a lot of good teams, including number 1 in the regular season, I think, Central Florida, or I don't know if they ended up number 1, but they were for a while. And Stockton were always a team that you weren't expecting them to win against these top teams, but now have really solidified themselves as a top team. But I feel like Northwood are the gatekeepers to being really number 1.
Absolutely. Northwood has generally been the team with the target on their back. Top Cheese trying to get a fake, and Buddy really just squashed that one on the goal line. And I think you made a great point. Stockton was always that team that you look at their roster at the start of every season and you think, oh, they have a lot of potential to be really, really strong. And for the past few seasons, it never got fully realized. And this really is the first season where everyone's like, yes, that's what we knew Stockton could be. And it's just unfortunately that while that's happening, there happens to be a team called Northwood on the other side of the pitch.
Minute and a half, and Stockton, they get close to the net. But that's really all the danger that there is how close they do get to the net in terms of any threatening shots, any kind of passing plays, maybe something here. Lion Blaze intercepts that and slows down the ball enough for Northwood to get back into position. Now Bussy gets back control. Drip is off the right side getting boost. So Stockton can't buy all of this time.
Oh, and Lion Blaze is going to punish him. Yep, Top Cheese a little greedy there. Thinking, yeah, I'll pick up the corner boost on the way back here. I don't really think Lion Blaze can score that. And, oh, yes, he can. I should have known better.
Yeah. And it's actually, speaking of Top Cheese, it's so weird to see how quiet he is in series. Because when it comes to regular season, I've always watched what Top Cheese can do stats-wise. I think he was 3rd in the CRL for goals per game. And now Stockton finally get 1. But with 54 seconds, can you make 2 goals happen was just how this whole Game 5 has been.
Yeah, if you need some quality scores, kickoff would be a great time to do it. Just give yourself a lot of opportunity to try and get that final goal to equalize, but Top Cheese certainly hasn't been playing a bad series. Just a couple of goals where he's just been caught out of position once or twice. So it's making it look a lot worse than he's actually played. Generally, I think all of Stockton have played pretty well. It's just a lot to ask to consistently go out there and wrest control from the three-headed Hydra of Northwood.
Yeah, I think if not 90% of Stockton's goals have actually all come from drip. So
yes.
I really don't care who is doing it, I guess, from Stockton, as long as they're working together. And both these teams are really balanced in that way. There's never like that one shining star, but you have an open lane, and Bussy is all kind of lost in that corner. So Northwood 4-1.
Buddy getting pushed around. Buddy is just driving at Bussy saying, yeah, go get the boost. I will make sure that you never make it back in time to make that save. Do it, I dare you. And there's nothing he can do about it.
It's crazy how Northwood, when they do counterattack, they also cement that lane forward, the red carpet to the opponent's net. It's somebody bumping the last defender up, and with 7 seconds remaining, Northwood will cement themselves as a grand finalist in the CRL Championships, and Lion Blaze just wanting one last moment to celebrate. Quite
the series for Northwood overall, and I think if you're looking for an example of why so many people in Rocket League tell you that the best way to play this game is on offense, this series is the exact example of why. I mean, you give up, I think a combined 4 goals, or maybe a couple more, but in general, Northwood. You can't score if you don't have the ball. If you take good care of it, always win the challenges when you need to keep it jammed in the half, or at least buy yourself some extra time, and you're taking quality challenges on your own half, you're not going to lose very many games, and you're going to absolutely have an astounding win percentage, and they do so here. 4 straight.
Yeah, Northwood only gave up, 6 total goals? It was 2-1 for Stockton game 1. That's when you thought, okay, this series, this is going to be good. This is already different from the playoff, the conference final. And then Northwood, slap. 4 games later, here we are, 4-1. So Stockton just couldn't really keep up. Once Northwood ramp up, once they're warmed up, I don't think there is anyone that can stop Northwood.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you there, Levin. They generally... That's why people say, yep, that's the number 1 team, and you get to see why. I mean, Stockton tearing a hole through some of the best in the Western Conference, and then Northwood comes out here and says, yep, sit down. This is our show.
Well, if you're fans of Stockton, they dropped to the lower final where they're waiting the winner of UNLV and Columbia, and that will be going down next. So we're going to throw it to a break. When we get back, more Rocket League action around the corner.